A woman walks into a restaurant, and when her friend takes the chair that's already pulled out, she doesn't say anything. She takes the other one, the one facing the room. A man gets to a meeting early. There are 8 empty chairs. He takes the one at the far end, back to the wall, where the doorway sits in front of him. A student walks into a lecture hall and picks the seat in the corner, not the back row, the corner, where the door stays in her field of vision without her having to turn her head. None of them planned it. Ask any of them why, and you get the same shrug. I just like this seat. Here's the thing about that answer. A preference is something you could reverse on a Tuesday for no reason at all. Could you? Sit with your back to the entrance in a room full of people you don't know and count how long it takes before something starts pulling at the back of your neck. That pull has a name: hypervigilance. It sounds like a diagnosis, and it isn't one. It's a threat detection system running at a higher baseline than the room actually calls for. The system is standard equipment. Everybody has one. Yours is just louder. And the part that matters isn't that it switches on. It's what it takes from you while it's running, which is almost never the thing people assume. The reason is older than the habit. There was a boy who could tell what kind of evening it was going to be from the sound of a car door in the driveway. The door, not the words that came after it. Slow and quiet was one kind of night. Fast was a different one. Nothing happened to him that would make a story. That part matters. There was no single evening you could point to. There was just a house where the most useful information in his life arrived through entrances over and over for years, until his attention learned where to stand. He is 40 now. He sits facing the door in restaurants. If you asked him about his childhood, he would tell you it was fine, and he would mean it. He didn't come out of that house afraid. He came out of it knowing where information enters a room. 2 different lessons, and only one of them ever gets talked about. Which one did you learn? If some of that landed, I want to be careful about what I am saying here. This isn't a broken part of you. It's a part of you that worked. It did its job in a room where the job needed doing. It was good at it, and nobody ever came in afterwards to tell it the job was over. It also explains why this never feels like a decision. Your attention lands on an entrance before you decide to look at it. Psychologists call this the orienting response. It is fast and automatic, and it finishes before you are conscious of it. By the time you notice you have checked the door, you checked it about a quarter of a second ago. You didn't choose to look, you found out that you'd looked. That's the whole strangeness of this thing compressed into one sentence. It isn't a habit you build, it's a report you receive. The room is not the reason. Which raises the obvious question. If the danger is gone, why is the system still running? Because safety doesn't produce evidence. Think about what it would actually take to switch this off. The system would need proof that entrances are boring. But every time you check the door and nothing is there, that isn't proof the door is safe. To the system, that's a successful check. The scan worked. Do it again. A smoke alarm that never goes off has no way of learning the house isn't burning. Its silence feels like being right. So the calm years don't disprove anything. They get filed as evidence that the strategy is working. 20 good years, and the volume doesn't move. Now here is where it costs you. There are 2 versions of the bill, and most people only know about one of them. The first version is the one you can feel. You never fully arrive anywhere. Part of you stays posted at the entrance for the whole meal, the whole meeting, the whole conversation. You are in the room at maybe 80%, and the missing 20 is doing something you never asked it to do. You know this one. It is tiring in a way that's almost impossible to explain to someone who doesn't have it, because nothing happened. You just sat there. The second version you probably don't know about, because it doesn't happen to you. So what else is it reading? The scan doesn't only run on doors. It is a general purpose monitoring system, and once it is up, it reads whatever is in front of it, which includes the person across the table, their pauses, the half second before they answer, the thing they decided not to say. You experience that as paying attention. They experience it as being watched. And they can't name it, which is the part that does the damage. They just come away from conversations with you feeling slightly assessed, not attacked, not judged, checked. Some of them get quieter around you and never work out why. and you notice that they've gotten quieter, because of course you do. So the real question was never whether you sit facing the door, it's which bill you have been paying. The one where you are never all the way in the room, or the one where nobody sitting with you is ever all the way relaxed. Most people who recognize themselves in this want the next part to be how to stop. I don't have that, and I would rather say so than make something up. You can't decide your way out of a response that finishes before you are aware of it. Telling yourself the room is safe doesn't reach the part of you that is scanning, because that part has never taken instructions in words. There is a difference between a thing you do and a thing you are doing. It is a small difference, and it doesn't fix anything. It just means that the next time you take the seat facing the room, you will know that you took it, and you will know roughly what it is going to cost you tonight. Somewhere this evening, someone is going to walk into a restaurant, and there will be a half second at the doorway where they look at 2 chairs and take the one facing the room. Their friend won't notice it. They won't notice it either. And the scan will start the way it started when they were 9, in a different room, for a reason that made sense at the time. That one landed somewhere specific,